Hello and welcome. I'm very glad to meet you all here today. I would like to take some time right now to give you an overview of Korea's national skills competition system. Skilled workers and professionals were at the forefront of Korea's remarkable economic growth, pulling the country out of the ashes and ruin of the Korean War. Korea's national skills competition started with the goal of training skilled professionals to lay the foundation of future growth and industries. It is closely intertwined with the history of Korea's economic growth and helped train workers in manufacturing and other key industries that have served as the backbone of the country's economy. Let's now look at some of the numbers behind Korea's skills competition. Since WorldSkills Korea was established in 1966, Korea has taken part in 30 WorldSkills competitions, taking home a total of 580 medals, 311 gold, 154 silver, and 115 bronze. 366,312 participants joined in the 55th National Skills Competition, with 79,215 of them receiving awards. The event has highlighted Korea's status as a powerhouse in skilled trade. And next, we'll take a closer look at how the competition takes place. Skills competitions held in Korea come in two major varieties, namely National Skills Competition and Local Skills Competition. Every year in April or May, local skills competitions are held in 17 cities and provinces nationwide, aimed at unearthing and nurturing skilled professionals from across the country. Around 7,000 competitors participate in these competitions every year, which comprise of 50 skills, including polymechanics and automation, and everyone is welcome to take part regardless of age. Local skills competitions began in 1966, starting in 3 cities, and as of 2020, a total of 293,007 people have participated in 17 cities during the decade since then. Those who won gold, silver, and bronze in local skills competitions are eligible to participate in the National Skills Competition held later in September or October. The competition, which is held in a different region every year in rotation, draws around 2,000 skilled professionals, representing every city and province in the country. Competitors who have been selected to take part are the pillars of Korea's industrial advancement in a vast array of sectors. They are also eligible to take part in WorldSkills competition that are held biannually. So, what preparations are needed to coordinate such a vast undertaking? For a better understanding, let's take a closer look at how the 2020 National Skills Competition was organized. The National Skills Competition, which is held on a budget of around 20 billion Korean won, begins the process of selecting a host 2 years prior to the event by reviewing the applications submitted by different regions. Once the host is selected, inspectors are sent to evaluate the venues. They are accompanied by experts to assess the condition of the venues as well as nearby accommodations. 5 months prior to the event, 170 members of the WorldSkills Korea and relevant officials from the host city or region are appointed to organize the event and begin their training programs. At around the same time, the criteria is drafted for the development of test projects. Let's closely look at the whole process of test projects. After the criteria is drafted, test project submissions are gathered from local committees representing 17 cities and provinces. A total of 5 test projects are selected following modifications, and they can be amended to a degree within 30%. The final test project that will be assigned and be selected at random on the day of the event. The test project criteria include competition rules, technical descriptions of the skills, and test projects assigned in previous competitions. With 4 months to go until the competition, newspaper ads are published to invite those interested in joining the competition. Competitors who have awarded gold, silver, and bronze in local competitions are eligible to submit an application either online through mail or in person. The finalists who will take part in the competition will then be selected by the organizers. Next, with 4 months left to go, preparations are made at the venues to host the competition and plans are set in place for necessary equipment rentals. It's C100 and an executive committee is formed to oversee the competition. The body consists of a steering committee that manages the entire competition across the board and also a competition committee which handles the details such as how the skills competition will be run, like assessment and marking, issue and dispute resolution, and so on. The competition committee is made up of around 900 members, including the chair and vice chair of the committee, 7 jury presidents, 50 chief experts, 50 deputy chief experts, 650 experts, 6 workshop managers, and 100 workshop manager assistants. HRD Korea will finalize the test project's development criteria. Test project submissions are made by local competition committees from 17 cities and regions after a final confirmation of the criteria for test projects development in each skill. The test projects are uploaded on the competition webpage and modified in accordance to the feedback from the competitors and their trainers. It's C50, and the 17 local committees recommend their respective expert candidates who meet the requirements. Their candidates are assessed by an expert appointment committee, and those approved are officially appointed to serve on the expert of the National Skills Competition. It is purchased in 840 different types of equipments and materials used in 50 skills according to the test project development criteria during this time. A test project selection committee is then formed which selects test projects within 5 for each skill. The test projects are circulated at different dates for each skill. The final test projects are selected in a draw on the C1 day, the start day, watched on by the competitors and the experts. The tools and materials are required to complete final inspections. With just 10 days to go until the competition committee organizes a workshop where 130 committee members, like experts and workshop managers, gather to work out details on how to run the competition and conduct a final inspection of the venues. From the final inspection of the venues to the training of staff, last-minute preparations are now complete and we are finally on home stretch. After months of waiting, 2020 National Skills Competition kicked off in September, and everything went smoothly without a hitch. Over the 8 days of the competition, some 1,850 competitors took part in the competition across 53 skills, including polymechanics and automation. Although most events were held virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the size and scope wasn't much different from those held in previous years. In the early morning hours on the C1, expert meetings by skills sectors are held with chief experts, deputy chief experts, and experts. They discuss ways to better execute competition protocols, among other related matters. In the afternoon, expert meetings are held by each skill. The deputy chief experts, and workshop managers discuss last-minute preparations and various tasks that must be executed during the competition. In previous years, the venues were open to all citizens who could stroll in and watch the competition as long as it did not interfere with the competition. Due to COVID-19, the opening ceremony, closing ceremonies, and all other festivities in the competition have been off limits to spectators and mostly took place either online or in pre-recorded video format. Before the start of the competition, the competitors are made well informed of the safety guidelines to prevent any accidents during the competition. Following a last-minute inspection of the equipment and materials, the test project is announced and the competition kicks off. Before test projects can be modified, notification must be provided on the time, location, and details of the proposed changes on the day of the competition before the start. The marking scheme must also be disclosed. At last, the competitors finally get to work and showcase their skills and talents during the time given to them to complete their tasks. The chief expert calls time as the clock runs out and announces an end to the competition. It is now time for the experts to evaluate the works. The chief expert, deputy chief expert, and experts will begin marking the works after discussing the methods, procedures, and rules of evaluation. For the sake of fairness and transparency, the experts are marking unaware of whose works. Marking is conducted at the venue in a transparent manner, in full view of the competitors, trainers, and related staff. For certain skills, evaluations are partially conducted while the competitors are working. Once the marking is complete, the scores are announced after a final confirmation. Competitors and trainers can submit objections if they believe the competition was run unfairly or if they have suspected cheating and evaluation bias. Objections must be voiced immediately, either during the event or the evaluation period, and any petitions regarding their scores must be submitted within 3 hours of the announcement of the final grades. All festivities during the 2020 National Skills Competition were held virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Even though the curtains have drawn on the National Skills Competition, there is still work that remains to be done. Through a post-evaluation workshop, WorldSkills Korea assesses the outcome of the competition and discusses if there's any room for improvement ahead of next year's event. Competition committee members often take this opportunity to share their know-how to manage the competition in a more efficient and impartial manner. An ethics committee is convened in mid-November to discuss how to handle matters requiring disciplinary action during the competitions, and with that, the National Skills Competition well and truly comes to an end. Korea's National Skills Competition is unique given the fact that it has also opened the door to introduction of new skills reflecting new demands from the industry. For the competitors taking part, the competition presents a golden opportunity for them to hone their skills and gain invaluable experience, even if they don't take home any awards. Korea's National Skills Competition has also been praised for incorporating new skills that are emerging as part of the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
인터넷상의 데이터를 저장함으로 인해서 언제 어디서나 이 데이터를 활용할 수 있는 기술을 우리는 클라우딩 컴퓨팅이라고 부르고 있습니다. 이런 데이터를 서로 교환하는 데 있어서 해커의 불법적인 침입들을 막기 위해서 데이터를 안전하게 보관하는 것들이 매우 중요한 요소라 할 수 있기 때문에 기능경기대회에서 신규 종목으로 추진을 하게 되었고, 추가적으로 비대면 서비스가 활성화됨으로 인해서 긴급한 상황에 사람 대신 투입할 수 있는 컴퓨터, 드론과 같은 시스템도 우리가 도입할 예정이라 이 드론 시스템도 기능경기대회 정식 종목으로 추가한 것이 그 특징이라고 볼 수 있습니다.
With the fourth industrial revolution creating many changes to the labor market, the competition has been successful at keeping in lockstep with these changes in the job landscape. New evaluation systems were implemented at this year's competition to strengthen transparency and impartiality. The first of these is the open and transparent marking process. To ensure impartiality, jury members conduct a blind evaluation and are completely unaware of who they're marking when evaluating each piece of work. They also give out their grades in full view of the competitors so that everyone knows the score being given to which piece of work by which competitor. A smart scoring system also made its debut in the 2020 competition, with the names of the experts being disclosed for each grade handed out. Chief experts and deputy chief experts assigned to specific test projects can log in and submit their grades via mobile app. The system also allows anyone during the competition to access a live smart scoring page from his or her smartphone and PC to check the grades that have been submitted. To ensure that the experts are impartial and fair, the appointment process is highly systematic at every step, from recruitment to selection and evaluation. Peer evaluations are also carried out after the competition, allowing for fair practices in how the competitions are run and how the competitors are evaluated.
사실은 우리 기능 경기 대부분이 보면은 치수로 측정을 해서 바로바로 나오는 그런 객관적인 부분도 있지만은 주관적인 부분이 굉장히 많이 들어가지 않습니까? 이번에 우리가 스마트 채점을 이렇게 적용한 부분이 상당 부분 우리 관계자들한테 선수 내지는 또 밖에 지도교사들한테 그 채점 결과에 대한 공정성을 확보하고 만족도를 제공하는 부분에 대해서는 큰 역할을 했다고 봅니다.
Also, the competition is thoroughly monitored to maintain its high standard of fairness and transparency, with an ethics committee in place to provide any necessary feedback. Disciplinary action is taken against competitors, trainers, or competition committee members who cause biased outcomes, and cases involving more serious offenses are submitted for review. Skills competition is open to anyone with competency. It is exerting its full efforts to provide equal opportunity, fair competition, and unbiased evaluations through its open and transparent process and with the help of impartial experts. It is also trying to keep up with the times by introducing new skills amid the wave of changes due to the fourth industrial revolution. American author Peter Drucker once said that running an existing business in the exact same way as before will only invite disaster in the future. In line with that spirit, Korea's skills competition is also doing its best not to bask in the glory of its past, but rather look into the future and stay one step ahead of the changing world.